Hi, I'm Telina.
And I'm Tahra.
And we chat from the mat.
The laundromat, that is. My husband Donnell and I took over Michigan Laundromat here in Kenilworth last September, and we reimagined it as Bubbles and Baskets Laundromat.
And on our show, we interview residents and businesses who we think you're going to find interesting.
And on today's episode of Chat from the Mat, we have Christa Recio from Fearvana Yoga.
Yay!
How are you?
I'm great. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show. So in the beginning, we like to get a bit of background and find out more about you. So what led you to open your business? And before that, when did you start practicing yoga?
So yoga was very sporadic. It was kind of an acquired taste.
I think it's
like that for anyone. It's like you dabble in it. It's like, oh, I don't really like this. And you keep dabbling because you think you should do it.
Because everyone's doing it.
Or you know it's good for you, but then you can't quite get the vibes. It was kind of like that for a few years. And then, so I started after I left the Army. I served 9 years in the Army, and I got out in 2012, and I got bored. And
really?
So I was looking for something that was both physical, mental, and like some type of like camaraderie. I was trying to mimic the whole military in the civilian world. I know now that you can't, but I mean, it was a valiant effort, I think. So yes. I did teacher training. And at the time, I was a single mom. So once I graduated, I was like, I can't be driving all over God knows where, teaching classes. Yeah. So I had the notion to just open my own spot so I could teach.
Oh, was that?
And just in Kenilworth, your first spot?
Kenilworth, yeah. I opened in 2014.
And what studio was that? Please tell us.
I started out as house yoga on 14th Street.
Oh.
And how long were you there for?
Oh, I think I was there 6 years.
Wow.
And then I moved to the Boulevard during COVID. And I rebranded after that.
Yes. And so now it's Fearvana Yoga. Now, what's the symbolism behind all of that? Why the fear?
Why Fearvana? I know, it's strange, isn't it? It's kind of funny. So I met a gentleman who's a dear friend of mine, actually at the same exact time I left the military. He's a Marine veteran. He was a blogger, and long story short, I read his blog, and one of his bucket list items was to start a nonprofit. And I just willy-nilly emailed him like, hey, I want to help you do that because I like you, you're cool. And so in 2014, was the birth of the Fearvana Foundation. It's a 501c3, and he and I being both, his name is Akshay Nanavati. He's actually the head person of Fearvana, and he's like the umbrella, and there's umbrella companies, me being Fearvana Yoga, so there are other Fearvana businesses out there. So we share the same ethos, philosophy of what Fearvana is. So
what is that?
And what is that? So when you break the word down in its essence, it's the combination of fear and nirvana. So they're polar. What we think is dualities or polar opposites, but the way we think of it is that we use, in the very essence of it, is we use our fear as an access point to nirvana. So it's almost like the play on dualities, light and dark, yin and yang, pain and pleasure, and it's almost like that concept of meditation and power, and there's spectrums, but when really you need both to create that unity. So the actual definition of yoga is to combine, to unite, whether it's mind, body, soul, spirit, because I think everyone can relate that we're kind of disjointed in many senses of the word, whether it's as us as an individual or as a community at large. And whether it's inner work, outer work, I think you need both to become whole. So it's really that play on the concept. And our logo is a wolf.
Yes.
And if you look really
The wolf with
closely,
the blue eyes.
the blue eyes, but if you notice, it's actually the yin yang symbol. There's
Yes.
black and
Oh,
white.
yeah.
So it's really
very clever.
Yeah, and so the whole structure of Fearvana, and when I started to hone it in, it's yoga is a spectrum. So there's always like a polarity. Some people think you do nothing and sit there and meditate, which
Right.
that's one side.
Right.
And then the other extreme is hot power you die yoga.
Yeah.
And that's the other side of the spectrum. But
Right.
there's all the in between, so that yoga can actually meet wherever you are at whatever stage in your life, whether you're pregnant, injured, really tight and sore because you didn't do anything for 20 years, or you're actually constantly active but you're getting different pains. So the way I structure that yoga is a spectrum, I believe it should be practiced in the whole spectrum so that you actually can feel complete or united. So
and I think it's key that you said that, because for me, for many years, I wanted to practice yoga, but I was so intimidated by yoga. I was like, well, what kind should I be practicing? Where do I start? If I go to a yoga studio, I go there and die. Or I sit there and be like,
or you're bored
out of my mind.
Yeah.
And so I always felt like some intimidation and actual like fear towards even trying. So what you're saying makes sense. And I know that there are various types of yoga. And I know you actually have, I want to say it's almost like a proprietary type of yoga in what you teach. I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about that, and just also tell us a little bit about, if you want to start the practice, where to begin. So I know you have a wonderful way of showing people where they can start and where they can get to.
Yeah, because just early on in this general area, it's very popular. A lot of studios, majority is actually power yoga. It's, it just attracts a certain personality, and it's just go, go, go. So we teach the whole spectrum. So when I first opened, I realized there was a whole demographic that wasn't being served, that wasn't really into the power and the hot and, the so-and-so like called dying of yoga. So I started developing a class called Stretch and Mobility Flow, and we focus on 4 main things. It's flexibility, lengthening, range of motion, and mobility. So we remove all the power, although down the road when someone's ready, they should really start dabbling to the strength and endurance and the stamina and getting their heart rate up. But this is a great access point for those that, they work at a desk all day, or they love to run, but that repetitive motion of running or weightlifting, or, it's starting to cause a strain on their joints. So, and it's, and I want to say it's for everyone. And I hate to say that because, it's not everything's for everyone, but like at some point in your life, like I'm sure your doctor will tell you, because I hear it all the time, you should maybe try yoga.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like a good place to start the stretch and mobility.
Correct. Yeah.
Start as a good foundation for practice, no matter whether you choose to go into the power, hot and heavy, or just sort of stay there. Because I started taking the stretch and mobility classes, and I love them.
So that's a good one to start off with. You feel fantastic.
You feel so
and
good.
It's not boring.
It's not boring. You feel great. Your body feels great. And so for me, it's like, that's my little entry into yoga.
And it's funny when you said that yoga is intimidating, it's the curse of yoga. There's always the stereotype. And so when I started having my background, it was something I always wanted to break, because I think it's still out there and it's very, very strong that yoga is for a certain type of person. And I love Kenilworth because you get everybody.
That's true. And you can wear what you want. You don't even need those Lululemons or anything like that.
If you want, So I think that particular class is a great access point. And with the studio itself, I try to make it not intimidating as much as I can.
It really is not.
Because we try to change that whole vibe. So
I love it. I love it. And I also know that aside from the class schedule that you have, you also offer other kinds of activities, events within the studio and outside the studio. So you want to tell us a little bit more about what else Fearvana Yoga has to offer?
So I do have a physiology background, so I'm really big on other modalities. So every month we do offer like foam rolling, or what we call deep tissue body release. So with the foam rollers, massage balls, because it just gives you a deeper sense of releasing the muscle. So if no one's ever foam rolled before or used massage balls, it's just another way to gain more flexibility and mobility in certain deeper muscles that you can't access, through a regular yoga class.
And these are the special workshops, correct?
Yeah, monthly. And then we offer Qigong every month. And we have different workshops depending on what your interests are or what you're trying to work on.
Can you tell folks what Qigong is?
Qigong is actually, I hope I'm explaining this right, because I'm not Qigong certified. I have a teacher that comes in. So the more commonly known is Tai Chi.
Oh,
everyone knows Tai Chi. It's the Chinese version. I like to, someone please don't kill me, but I like to think of it as like the Chinese version of yoga.
Okay.
Because there's definitely there's the elements are involved. There's a lot of different movements, and it's just working with your energy, because Qi is your energy. But it's such a great class to try. So.
That's amazing. Now, you've been in Kenilworth for how many years now?
I've been living here. I think I moved here in 2012.
2012.
And I opened the studio in 2014.
Wow. Now, what do you love about being in Kenilworth, and why did you choose Kenilworth for your studio in particular? I mean, even though you live here, why? Just because close to home, or you just felt that you could serve a purpose?
I think, all of that.
All of that?
Wow. I actually love this town. And so I think the people are great. And then once I have 3 boys, when my oldest started going to school, I was like, this is such a great town, and I really feel I can serve my community in a certain way. And at the time, there were businesses, but not that many 10 years ago. I don't know. You had your staple businesses, but I'm like, and a lot of, the history of yoga studios, they always open in affluent areas for many good reasons. Yoga studios are not easy to keep in business for many reasons.
You never know.
But I wanted to provide that for this area and really just introduce what it can be.
Well, we are glad you're still here.
Oh my God, me too.
I love it. And so is there anything else we didn't cover that you'd like
to tell our lovely audience?
Yeah. So for the month of April, we're actually running a promotion. So whether you've tried the studio before, want to give it another shot, because sometimes yoga, you just got to keep feeling it out.
Try it out. Try a different teacher if one wasn't your favorite, because you never know.
That's exactly it. You have to write it's almost like a match of the right class, the right teacher, and you just have to play with it. Time of your life, what you're going through. So we're running a promotion of our introduction special. It's unlimited yoga for 21 days for $79. So whether you've tried it in the past or you've never tried it before, it's a great way to just get your toes wet and just see what you feel. It's a great way to get to know all the different classes, if the schedule works for your life, and if you like the teachers, the ambiance, and all that jazz. So
amazing. Thank you so much for coming
on
our show. This was so fun.
Super
Thank you
fun.
so much. And so, Christa, tell everyone where you are on the Boulevard and any socials you want to throw out.
Yeah, we're at 600 Boulevard, literally right down the street from Bubbles and Baskets, like right there.
Laundry, go to yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laundry and yoga.
Laundry and yoga. Awesome Friday night.
We're on the Boulevard, fearvanayoga.com, Fearvana Yoga on Instagram, on Facebook, and that's where you can find everything on the website, our schedule, the prices, and everything else, all the updates.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. So much fun.
Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you so much.
If you know anyone who you think would be a great guest on our show, please email us at
chatfromthemat@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Until next time.
Bye.